Hey, so I was gonna stop at 2 videos today, but damn, I can't stop. So my thought was that, sometimes you can get super motivated, super hyped, which is where I'm at right now. And you can try to explain to other people what that is and what it feels like. And sometimes people don't understand because they're not in that place themselves. I mean, I've certainly experienced that. I was like, okay, that person's on drugs. My mom even told me once that she thought I was on drugs, which I never forgave her for because my father was a drug addict. But I forgave her for it. So the place that I'm going to is that this energy that you might have, this motivation you might have, or maybe you don't have it and other people have it, sometimes we can't really explain things. You know, if I tell you something, facts tell, stories sell. So when you tell somebody something, yeah, they can kind of understand it. And yeah, you know, if you're like my sister who was like Superwoman, she hears something and she gets it. She doesn't need the story. But 99% of us, it's not enough just to have the facts. It's like we've got to connect with the story behind, the moral of the story, that the story that you're trying to tell, the reason that you've got the energy, you've got the reason that you've got the motivation that you've got, the reason that you seem different, the reason that, as you progress, the reason that those things are not explainable to people is because to them it's simply facts. When you explain something, it's like me reading, what's that thing, Grey's Anatomy, where, if you were to read Grey's Anatomy, would that make you a doctor? Hell no. Fuck no. It would not make you a doctor. But at the same time, what happens is that if you tell somebody a story, even though they may not be a doctor, they'll be able to relate. So when a doctor comes in and says, you know what, I'm sorry, Joe, you've got cancer. Holy fuck. And notice that sometimes, granted in movies, when a doctor will tell a patient, they've got cancer or some disease or whatever, that sometimes the person who's being told that story doesn't actually, it's like they can't even comprehend it. It's like, okay, so can I go home now? Am I clear to go? Everything's fine, right? But, it comes as a shock. We can't even digest the fact that the doctor just told us that, we had cancer or whatever it may be. And so, again, when you're thinking of facts and stories, sometimes we have to have the personal experience, the life experience, the thoughts upon thoughts, the building, the actual foundation and everything around that foundation that builds a whole house, not a house of cards, but a house of very strong thoughts, a house of incredibly strong thoughts. And in order to get there, there isn't any two ways about it. We've got to have experience in life. We've got to be able to draw on those experiences so that suddenly when you're in the midst of talking, and sometimes you can see that in the videos with me or with other people, that sometimes they draw on an experience that they had and it supplements whatever it is that they're talking about. They've been there before. They can relate. So that's my thought on that, and I hope that really does something. Thank you so much. Peace.